Hello once again, Bob the Vaping Computer Guy. Today we're taking a look at the Kaees Solomon 2. Alright, so this was sent in by Heaven's Gifts, or Heaven Gifts, heavengifts.com. There'll be a link below to their website to check this out. Let's dive down, let's do the up close, then I'll tell you about it. And today we're taking a look at the Solomon 2 RTA from Kaees, or Keys. I think it's pronounced Keys. That's usually the way I pronounce it. Let's slide this over more. You can see you got your scratch and sniff. I started that, by the way, I think. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that until I called it scratch and sniff, just for the record. So, leak-proof RTA. This is a top airflow device. Let's pop this one open. Let's see what's in the box first. You're going to get your extra glass. You get 2 drip tips. You get another Shorty 810. All right. You get a 510. And in your bag of goodies, you will have a 510 adapter. You have O-rings. You have a screwdriver. You have a couple extra grub screws, and you have a coil that they're giving you. All right, throw that back in there. We'll put this all aside. And oh, glass. That's not the way it goes. Who cares? You don't want to see me putting it back together. Let's get that out of the way. All right. So here we go. Let's zoom in there. And interesting looking device. Comes with the bubble glass on there. This is the black version. Black on top, gold black there, gold accent here. You got the thicker, higher 810 already installed. Pretty good protruding 510 pin. All right. Unscrew the top, and you have your fill ports, nice large fill ports. Threading up there is nice. This bottom is very short, as you can see. Let's get it open. This is a new one here. Come on. Talk about this threading too. Alright, so as you see, that just pops out at that point. Let's look at that deck. Alright, airflow is going to go through here. Since this is a top airflow, your airflow on both sides is going in, and it's coming through that slot opening on the side there, coming down here, going into the side onto your coil. Alright, 2-post deck, different heights. Extremely easy to put a coil in there. We'll show you that in a moment. You can pop off your glass for cleaning. I think it's 3.5 milliliters. We'll throw specs up there in a minute of juice capacity. Let's get something to put this on and show you what I mean about putting that coil on. Alright, so let's throw it on here. So, got your tool that comes with it. Loosen those screws. Got a coil that I pre-cut here already. Alright. Extremely easy. You can... Now, one thing here, this is important. If your coil... Most coils that you buy, at least that I've ever bought, are wrapped clockwise. Okay? So they go around this way. Those kind of coils are not going to be easy to put in. They're just really not... It's not designed for that. Because you have a post where one side is higher than the other, you need a counterclockwise coil. I'm going to take the one that came with it out of the bag to show you what I mean. Alright, so you can see here, I was going to put this in, but then I remembered that. This coil, as you see, comes up and goes around clockwise. The coil they give you is wrapped counterclockwise. And you really do need a counterclockwise coil to put in here. But all you have to do, literally, is slide it right in like that, place it where you want, and clamp it down. And that's it. And then you can just raise or lower your coil and place it where you want. And there's nothing else to it. Cut your leads and you're done. Alright, you can see it fits in there pretty perfect. But so easy to do with a counterclockwise coil. You loosen that up. You can put it where you want, your height, wherever you want. Literally, take it out. Slide your coil in, screw it down. Extremely easy to get that coil in there. Once it's in there, wicking is also going to be extremely easy. We're not going to go through a whole wicking process. It's simple, but you can see right here, you're going to put your wicks in there. All right, drop them right down into those slots. I always recommend just slightly below the actual deck, just a little bit below there, so you'll see the cotton underneath on both sides. Don't make those holes too tight. Because this is a top airflow, you really don't have to worry about filling up that whole hole with a lot of cotton. All right, you don't have to pack that well. In fact, you don't want to. The way the vacuum is going to work is juice is going to flow down under here and pretty much just fill up right to there underneath and just get your wicks really good. So I like not to fill that too much with too much cotton, and it seems to work great in this device. But that's all there is to it. When you do that, now this is the only little tricky part I wanted to show you here. That's why I'm not bothering to build this whole one. We'll just talk about it more when we go up on top. Getting this back in sometimes is a little tricky, just to get the threads right. As you can see in there, this is going to go into that slot there, because that's where your airflow is coming from. So if you just put it here like this, you see there's a gap here, you end up getting like, oh, I can't get it, you know, it's like, come on, where are you gonna slide in? You know, you just don't feel it drop in and connect. You really got to play with it a little bit, and you get used to this. There you go. See, I just happen to get it in there. See, if I do it like this, it just doesn't want to go in. But if you line it up, and then gently, without forcing, get it just right, you'll feel it get into the right spot. Maybe. And I wanted to do this on camera to show you. It is a little bit tricky. There we go. See, now there's almost no gap. It's right onto the glass. Come on. There you go. All right, and then you get it in. So that is a bit of a pain. It's worse, you know, once you have it, if you have juice in here and you turn it upside down, you want to take it out to play with your build, and then you want to try and get it lined back up. You got to make sure you're holding that glass down, you know, to the top part like this, so that the glass doesn't slide off while you're trying to play with that to get it in there. It really is quite a bit tricky just to get that lined up just right to put it together. Once you do, it does not leak, it does not come apart, it does not have any problems. But getting that threaded just right, I'm finding to be a real pain in the ass sometimes. As you can see, that's their new design as opposed to the old lion face that was on the old one. You can see I'll throw a picture of that up on the screen, just in case you're curious of looking at it compared to the old one. But that's it. I mean, that's all there is to put it together. It is easy to build and wick. It is hard to get that base on lined up properly and threaded. And that's it. Let's go back up on top and I'll tell you about actually vaping on this thing. All right, so I'm gonna take a vape on it. So single coil RTA. I don't normally do pros and cons. Let's do some pros and cons, and I usually have that when I have a con. So pros, I like the looks of it. It is top airflow. It's not gonna leak. No problems with that. No problems with wicking. No problems with getting juice to the coil. Everything with that is nice. Also, getting the coils into that deck is extremely easy when you have a counterclockwise wrapped coil. Put it in, close down the 2 screws, cut your leads, you are done. It is super, super simple. If you're someone that rolls your own coils, or you can find counterclockwise coils, that makes it easy. You can put in, of course, a clockwise wrapped coil. You just end up having to bend your leads. Let me see if I have one here to show you. Just bend your leads a little bit different. And get something here to show you. So basically, if you have a coil like this, and this is counterclockwise wrapped, okay, you can see it just wraps that way, you would have to bend your coils a little bit different. And I'm just going to do real quick on here to give you an idea. For those of you, you know, a lot of you know what to do, but for those of you who don't, and you want to get one of these and you want to understand how to prepare your coil in order to put it in a device like this, basically, you got to bend your leads a little bit differently. You just basically, can you see that? You're going to do that to them. See how you just bring it up to the opposite end, like you continue wrapping it around and then bend it. And then what happens is your coil that normally, as it ends this way and would be on the bottom, instead it'll go up and out a little bit. It's just a little bit of a little tweaking there. So it's not the end of the world, but you can do that. That's the pros, I guess, for the most part. For the cons, it's not a terrible tank. There's nothing really bad about it. It's just I feel there's a lot better choices out there. You know, there's just other things that will work better. Getting that deck into that base can be a real pain, getting it lined up just right. It's annoying, but once you get it in, you're fine, no problem. And then, of course, the most important thing about it, the flavor. I tried it with the coil that came with it, which I believe was a stainless steel. I also did a stainless steel round wire build, which is just a single, you know, round wire build on there, not a Clapton or anything fancy. Right now I have a TI-80 in here coil, and one of these coils, in case you're at all curious, these Coilology coils, which is the one I got in here right now, TI-80, a Nichrome 80, NI-80 coil, 0.21, is that what it's reading about? No, I must have used the 0.35, yeah, I used the 0.35 on here. So it's an NI-80 fused Clapton 0.35 is what I have in here right now, vaping that on 50 watts, and I'm just not getting the flavor that I would like out of it. So I've tried 3 different builds in the thing, hot, and then I've moved them around, high, low, rewicking, stuff like that. And I would go to something else. I'm just not getting the flavor I would like. I have some of this, the one, what is this, the Minuteman? I have it in a different bottle right now. Minuteman, is that what it's called? Magic Man, which is a pretty sweet juice, and it's just not doing it for me. I was just looking up here to give you the flavor profile of that juice in case you're at all interested. You know, this is trifecta of fruit flavors, so it's a whole, you know, sweet juice. And I'll have that in there, and I'll have it in here, and when I vape it in here, it tastes great. When I taste it here, it's eh. And if it's just eh, why vape it? Vape it in something else. So, you know, I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying if you want to, it's something that you like the looks, you like the design, and you might want to play around with the coils, and maybe you can get the flavor to taste the way you want and taste better. But I'm trying it in a bunch of different builds, and I actually tried other juices in it as well, and none of them are just popping for me. None of them are tasting great. They're just okay. And I'd rather put it in something else that, wow, this is great, instead of something that's just, wow, this is okay, you know? So there you go. That is the Kaees Solomon 2 leak-proof design, RTA, comes with the bubble glass, as you saw. You know, a lot of nice things to it, but the flavor just isn't there. So there you go. I'll put a link below if you're interested in it. Check it out on heavengifts.com, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.